maybe you're just joining us again for wave hands like clouds because you took my advice and you actually worked on your footwork. Because I am here to tell you that once we start learning the hands, people totally forget about what their feet are doing usually. That's why it's so important to have a good foundation in your footwork, and why I recommended that you perhaps just practice that and come back to this video on the hands later. With that in mind, let's jump into our form in a way that's appropriate for everyone, not from the very beginning, because if you're just coming and going right into the hands from the last lesson, let's start here and just take a breath. As we inhale, the hands open a little, and as we exhale, they close. And single whip to the right. Move number 29 here is what leads us into our wave hands like clouds. So here's our wave hands like clouds. And you've probably spent a lot of time practicing step 1. Step into the perfect shoulder width position. Step 2, there should be no weight on that right foot until we put it there on purpose. Step in to shoulder width. And step 3 in the horse stance. Now, you remember that the left toes turn in towards 130. So you're ready for the hands. So I'm going to show you from the front after our single whip to the right. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Third, wave hands like clouds. So you've got the feet already, right? So we're going to go over the hands, and I'm just going to come closer so that you can see my hands better since you know the feet. And we're going to focus on the hands for just a bit, because you know here we are after our single whip to the right. And so let's forget about this left hand up here. Let's just forget about it. So we have this right hand that's down here towards our left hip. And then we're going to bring it up towards the right or left shoulder. And then we're going to turn our body and the right hand comes over to the right shoulder, roughly. And then it goes down to the right hip. And then as we turn our waist, the hand comes across the waist to the left side. It comes up to the left shoulder. And then as we turn our waist to the right, it comes across to the other shoulder, and then it drops down towards the hip. And then as we turn our waist to the left, the right hand comes across the belly, up to the left shoulder. And then as we turn our waist right, the right hand comes to the right shoulder and down to the hip. So you can probably see my hand from behind. But in case you can't, I'm going to turn around and face different directions so that you understand what we're doing. So, mirror image. Let's see. So after our single whip to the right, just forget about your left hand. Step out to shoulder width or horse stance. So the right hand comes up. As we turn our waist, it comes across. And then it comes down to about the height of the waist. This is my belly button. So ideally, the hand is low beneath the belly button, or what we call lower dantian. And then it comes up to about the height of the center of the chest, what we would call middle dantian. Two main energy centers in the body. So that's really all the right hand is doing. It's framing the body. It's going from the hip to the shoulder. And then as we turn the waist, it comes across to the other shoulder. And then it goes down to the hip. And as we turn the waist, the hand just floats with us like a cloud. And it has this nice round kind of quality. It feels like wax on, wax off. And how did the Karate Kid use this move? It's a defensive move. Well, it can be used different ways, but primarily it's used defensively. If someone was coming in to hit you, block. We would use the whole body to turn into that attack. So that it's not the strength of our arm protecting us, it's the strength of our whole centered body. When our bones are in good alignment, we are strong and stable. When we are moving from our core, like here in our wave hands like clouds, turning the waist to thwart an attack with our arm, we have extreme power, right? It's mechanics. It's often said in Tai Chi that we should have the inner strength of iron, but the softness and flexibility of cotton on the outside. So we should feel strong in our stance, and our hand should feel like it's just softly circling and waving like a cloud in the air. You get the idea. So I'm going to go sideways a little so that you can see that the whole time there's some space between my hand and my body. We don't want it really close to us. We want it about a hand's length away from us. You could say it's in our phone booth of space, that right hand. But you've probably got that now. So shake out a little. We use both hands and wave hands like clouds. So let's go over what the left hand does. After our single whip to the right, now just forget about your right hand. What's your left hand do? So first it's going to come down here to the hip. And then guess what? As we turn the body, it comes across to the other hip. And then it rises to the shoulder. The elbow is down, and then the hand comes across the chest as we turn. It comes down to below the navel, the height of lower dantian, or second chakra, if you come from yoga tradition, up to fourth chakra, or middle dantian. So the whole time is the same movement. It's exactly the same thing. When the hand is up, we should be able to see the tips of the fingers. If you can see the very tops of your fingers, hand too high. And it should feel round and soft. But it shouldn't feel like it's the hand leading the body, right? I'm demonstrating that now. Right now, it's my hand that's leading me, and you can see the difference, and you can really feel it too. Instead of my hand moving first, it should be my waist kind of dragging my whole arm along behind it. So both hands are doing the same thing. And so you don't find it confusing, I'm going to turn around so that you would be following along as we practice both hands in wave hands like clouds, but really just the hands here at first. But I'm going to bring my hands really wide so that you can see where they're at. So after our single whip, they're here. Then our right hand comes up, our left hand goes low. So we're not going to step in, we're just going to practice changing our hands. And then shifting the weight and turning, and the hands come back. And then on the side, our hands change position up and down. They come across. And then on the right side, they change up and down. So as we're turning to the left hand is always up, like a wave. Like you were to wave to someone, hi, right? And if we're turning to our right, the right hand is always up, like you were waving, hello, over here. That's how you do it. Without moving the feet, just with shifting our weight back and forth and relaxing more and more as we flow back and forth in these gentle circles, we're engaging in a meditative technique or a warm-up technique known as circling. And we can do that circling technique for a long time. It's very relaxing without doing anything with our feet. And in that way, our Tai Chi practice can become a QiGong meditation. If we add in our breath, it becomes even more of a QiGong practice. Here we would breathe in through the nose. And here we would breathe out through the nose. Here we would breathe in through the nose. And here we would breathe out through the nose. And with the knowledge that breathing in for 6 seconds and breathing out for 6 seconds is the healthiest for us, we could even count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out. Just relax and flow. And you remember that there's space between your arms and body. Now, I'm going to stop doing it with you. And I invite you to just circle a few more times without me. And then slowly bring your arms down and shake out. Were you able to do it without me? Let's go over how we do it in our form. It'll get more and more comfortable as we go. So you know what our feet are doing. I'm going to bring that in a moment. So our single whip is here. So in our wave hands like clouds to the right, it's one wave right. Change the hands. Change the hands. Second wave to the right, or roughly facing 130 or 2. Change the hands. Change the hands. And then we have our third wave hands like clouds to the right. There it is. That's what we're doing with our hands and wave hands like clouds. When we add in the stepping of the feet, they go together in the count and it makes a lot more sense. Now, different teachers teach wave hands like clouds in various ways. Through the years of teaching, I have found that this is the simplest way to learn it. First, to get the step and understand how many we're taking, and then understand what the hands are doing. And you've got this hand thing, right? Wax on, wax off, wax on, and then wax off. And you remember that the hands are a little ways away from the body. And it's quite a powerful energy practice, which is why it's used in many QiGong styles without moving the feet. That's one of the big differences between QiGong and Tai Chi. Often in QiGong, we never move the feet for hours. No joke. But in Tai Chi, we pretty much always move the feet. So let's put our hands and feet together a whole bunch of times so that you can practice this and feel comfortable. So I'm going to move away from the camera so that you can see more of what my feet are doing. Find that good Chima stance, toes forward, shoulder width, fingers to the sky, and make sure to breathe in so fully and relaxed your body and hands expand. And when you breathe out through the nose, it's so full and relaxed, your whole body comes in together. So first, before wave hands like clouds to the right, we have single whip to the right. You know that now, so I don't have to talk you through it. But I'm going to talk you through all of this. So, step sideways number 1 with the right foot. Put the heel down, raise the right hand. Shift the weight and turn to 130. That's wave to the right number 1. Step in with the left foot to shoulder width. Put the heel down, change the hands. Shift the weight and wave towards 1030. Second side step with the right foot. As the heel goes down, the hands change. Shift the weight, and this is our second wave to the right, facing 130. Now the left foot comes just to shoulder width. The heel goes down, the hands pass, and we shift our weight and wave or turn to 1030. Third right side step. When the heel goes down, that's ideally when the hands pass, and we're conscious of the weight shift as we turn. So after our third wave, the left foot comes in and turns to 130, and subtly both palms are turning in, but we'll get there. First, let's get our wave hands like clouds. We'll do it a whole bunch of times. You got this. You got it. Take a breath in. Remembering it's always through the nose when we practice Tai Chi. Single whip to the right. Step 1 to the right. Right hand up. First, wave hands like clouds. Step in just to shoulder width. Left hand up. Second step right. When the heel goes down, that's when our hands change. Second wave towards the right. Step into shoulder width. When the heel goes down, that's ideally when the hands change. And a third step to the right. Change the hands. A third wave hands like clouds to the right, where the left toes turn to 130. Each time we do it, it gets easier and easier. I'm going to do it with my back facing you one more time, and then I'm going to come face you and do mirror image. Some people that confuses, I know. Some people like it. I tried to give you both. You remember the transition, right? We make sure that we're breathing in our open and close. Moves number 27 and 28. Move number 29 is single whip to the right. And then we have move number 30, which is wave hands like clouds to the right for step 1. Change the hands. First wave, right. Step into shoulder width. change the hands as the heel goes down. Second step towards the right side. Heel goes down as the right hand comes up. Second, wave hands like clouds to the right. Left foot to shoulder width. When the heel goes down, that's when the hands change. We should feel relaxed. Especially the right butt cheek as we step out for the third right side step. And our third, wave hands like clouds to the right, where the left toes turn to 130. I'm going to face you and do it this time. So I'm going to do it in the same direction we normally do, towards the right. First let's just take a breath, breathing in, the hands open. Breathing out, the hands close. So, single whip to the right foot steps forward. We turn and open. We bring in our single whip. Step sideways towards the right, and as the heel goes down, raise the right hand. Wave one towards the right. Bring the left foot to shoulder width. Step two with the right foot. As the heel goes down, change the hand position. Wave two towards the right. Step into shoulder width. And the third right side step. The hands pass. And the left toes point to 130. Hopefully it's getting easier and easier. I'm going to come a little bit closer because I know people usually have a lot of questions about the hands. And we're going to go through it again, mirror image. But you know what your feet are doing, right? You got this. Take a breath in with me. And out. Single whip to the right. So wave one to the right. Hopefully you can see all this space between my hands and body. It should feel open and round. Wave two towards the right. And wave three towards the right, where the left toes turn to face 130. It takes a little practice. There is no doubt. The cool thing about research on Tai Chi is that there's been several studies that show that wave hands like clouds, whether you do it stepping, as we do in our form, or you do it as a QiGong practice where we're just circling, not moving our feet. It speeds up the metabolism and helps us to burn fat and have more energy and feel less sluggish by moving slow. Let's practice it again. Because I know it's a complex movement. It's good to practice again and again. I'm going to do it with you one more time here, talking you through it, and then we'll practice without me talking. But first, let's remember to breathe in fully through the nose and fully Out through the nose without forcing, just relax. Aware of shifting the weight to the left foot. Aware of the right foot floating forward and taking our weight in single whip to the right. We withdraw our whip and step sideways, touching the ball of the foot. The heel goes down as the hands change position. We shift our weight and wave. We step in on the ball of the foot. As the heel goes down, the hands change position. We shift our weight and wave. Step number 2 on the ball of the foot, the heel goes down, the hands change. Wave number 2 to the right. Step in on the ball of the foot, put the heel down when the hands pass. Shift our weight and wave. Step number 3 is the heel goes down, the hands pass. Then we shift our weight and wave hands like clouds for the 3rd time. The left toe turns in as it comes in a little. Wave hands like clouds. Some people get so lost in it and enjoy it so much, like me, that sometimes in our practice we realize, oh my gosh, what was that, like 6 wave hands like clouds? I'm going to do it with you again, and I'm not going to say it. I'm going to give you the opportunity to try and remember that little sequence, first remembering to breathe in and out. And single whip right. And wave hands like clouds. To the right, 3 times. You're doing so well. Let's put it together with our form from the beginning. And then we'll call this lesson a close. But you can keep coming back over and over to practice wave hands like clouds. I know it's quite a move. It's a beautiful and fun move when we get it, which can take a little time. But let's stand at ease and recognize all that we have accomplished. So grateful for Tai Chi helping us to relax, be tall, remember to breathe, easy. Let's begin going from Wu Ji to Tai Chi together. The principle of Sung says, relax more. The principle of alignment reminds me, am I holding myself upright? Am I overturning? The principle of harmonizing yin and yang reminds me, are my hands symmetrical? Is my breath even? principle of flow reminds me that the speed at which I start my practice should be ideally the speed I flow throughout. I know that ideally it's my breath that should dictate that. Am I connected with breathing in and how I'm breathing out today? Intercept, deflect down, parry, and punch. I hope I'm still on camera. Oh, I am. Punch into the wall. And withdraw. Right foot back to 12. Left foot pivots in. Be aware of your full breath. When we practice with others, we tend to harmonize our flow, but when we practice alone, it's good to let our own breath, our own life force rhythm dictate the pace. Leisurely Tai Coat to the right. Left toes lead us back to 12. Right foot adjusts. How are you breathing? Are you relaxed? Let all that tension go. Single whip back to the left. Right fist under left elbow in section 1. You've come so far. I'm totally impressed that you just keep going. Repulse monkey left. Repulse monkey right towards your 12 o'clock. Brush knee left. Leisurely Tai Coat to the left. We attempt to keep the head upright, not watching the hands. Seeing them, yes, but not letting them dictate our focus. The right toes take us back towards 12 o'clock. The left foot pivots in, adjusting to a perfect stance for the breath to move throughout the entire body. And what we've been practicing today is next. Single whip to the right. And wave hands like clouds to the right. One step, one wave. Second step. Second wave. third, step to the right. And the third, wave hands like clouds to the right, where the left toes turn to 130 at the end. And we'll just center the weight and relax for a breath or two. Oh my gosh, you've done so much. Make sure that you always close your practice with a little thank you to your body. I know I have it on the video course, but just in case, around the belly, thank you belly for working. Thank you front of legs for working. Thank you back of legs. Thank you so much outside of legs, and you can tap if you like. Thank you inside of legs. Thank you so much backside. Oh, thank you so much, brain. Don't tap hard there. I love you, brain. Thank you, beautiful face and all these senses. Thank you so much, precious arms and hands, for getting the work done. I appreciate you so much, body, and that's why I do Tai Chi every day, knowing that it takes better care of you all the days of my life. Thank you for showing up and practicing with me today. I hope to see you for the next lesson, number 32. You're getting closer. Well done.